Hello everyone. I hope that this finds you well. It seems that the death toll has risen on account of the recent hurricane it hit in North and South Carolina. I hope the families of all of those affected by death and otherwise will recover. I hope those who didn't make it knew Yahweh and will enter into his kingdom when it comes. But I'm really not here to talk about that. There is within the group of people who observe Torah and keep the testimony of Messiah, many people that have really bad attitude and they have wrong thinking processes or wrong ideas. I'm not really sure how to phrase it. I hadn't spent an abundant amount of time thinking it out. But you know, I see lots and lots of attitudes going around. Well, if you don't believe like me, then you know you're going to hell. Recently I had someone block me because there are two schools of thought on this, on eternal condemnation. Alright, there's the original train of thought that those who are cast into the lake of fire are there for eternity. Alright, and then there is a more recent school of thought that those who are cast into the lake of fire burn up and just poof, are annihilated and they don't exist anymore. Alright, well, I'm not here to talk about that, and I will try to refrain from getting into any details about it. But suffice it to say that I have been blocked by a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot, but at least a few, whose views on that are different than mine. And you know, when I say blocked, I'm talking about on Facebook, because I think I've mentioned in another video that that's really about the only social interaction that I really get. I'm very, very different than most people. So much so that even among my family, I'm frowned upon, looked at differently. You know, I'm not sure exactly how to say it, but suffice it to say that I'm the outcast of my family. You know, that would be my mama's side and my daddy's side. So, just as a general rule, I don't want to say that I avoid people, but I don't go out of my way to go around people. So social networking is really about the only real level or amount of social interaction I get. So that being said, to get back on point, a lot of the times I'll talk about conversations with people and whatnot, it's on social media. Primarily Facebook, occasionally a little bit on YouTube. I don't have Twitter accounts and stuff like that. You know, I don't want to give them my phone number, and that's the only way you can sign up for Twitter that I have found so far. So I don't want them to have my phone number. Facebook doesn't have my phone number. You know, Google does have my phone number, but that's only because at one point my Google account locked completely up, and I actually had to get on the phone with Google to unlock it. And the only way that they were able to unlock it was I had to attach a phone number to it so they could, because, you know, actually the Android operating system is written and owned by Google. So, you know, they already had my phone number. They just didn't know that it was attached to that particular Google account. It is now. Anyway, back on point. You know, I don't want to get into eternal torment versus annihilationism, except to talk about a single point that has happened on more than one occasion. I have been told by several people that the word forever, when you read the scripture that says they'll be thrown into the lake of fire and, you know, be tormented night and day forever, I've been told that that word forever there in the original Hebrew does not mean eternity. And typically when that happens, I'll ask a question like, so when Yahweh says that his Torah or his word is forever, we know that that means that his word is for eternity. And when scripture says that his children, once everything is finalized, you know, the battle at Mount Megiddo, or in the valley at Mount Megiddo, you know, Har Megiddo or Armageddon, as we say in English. And after 1,000 years, after Lucifer is let loose and goes out to deceive the nations, and then he's cast into the lake of fire again forever and ever. Scripture tells us that we will be with Yeshua forever. So it's that same word, forever. Well, if in this context over here it only means for an unspecified short period of time that is not eternity, then doesn't it have to mean that very same thing over here? So that's typically the argument I make, and I've revealed my position on that now. Which again is not the point of this video, you know, and you should be able to watch the rest of this video whether you agree or not with eternal torment in the lake of fire, because that's actually a closer that I use on a lot of my videos is Proverbs chapter 18 verse 13. A man that answereth the matter before he heareth it is shame and folly unto him. So, in other words, you haven't heard all of my conversation, not argument, conversation, because I'll tell you, I don't know. But based on the way I understand Scripture, I do believe that they're in the lake of fire for eternity. And I'll be happy to discuss it with you. Not now. But anyway, after I got finished with that particular question, because I didn't state it as a fact, I asked it as a question, you know. This fella says, well, that word forever only means a short, unspecified period of time. And so then I asked the question, I said, so what about the word forever in this context, in this scripture here? And his response was, I don't any longer have patience for this kind of stupidity, or your kind of stupidity, or something other along those lines. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he basically called me stupid and then blocked me. I mean, we were Facebook friends, And because I asked a question from a position that's opposite of him, he called me stupid and blocked me. Okay. Where's the love in that? You know, are you so full of pride about whatever it is that you believe that you're so certain that you're right that there's just absolutely no way that you can be wrong, so it's beneath you to talk about someone or talk with someone about something if they don't agree with you? I mean, really, how does that work? So let me go into this, because I'm going to tell you a little secret also. I need some help because I can't remember all of my points. But anyway, I can guarantee you that not a single one of us knows everything and is right about everything that we believe in Scripture. Not one. None of us. That's a fact. 100% unquestionable fact. Now, most of us are right about something, and most of us are wrong about something. In fact, all of us are right about something or wrong about something, except for those of us who are wrong about everything. And I don't know that I've ever met a person that was wrong about absolutely everything. But I'll read you something here out of Philippians. It's Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. It says, "Finally, my brethren, whatsoever is true, whatsoever is honest, whatsoever is just, whatsoever pure, whatever lovely, whatever good report, or whatever of a good report, if there is any virtue and if there is any praise, think on these things." Alright, now I'm sure that that is about a specific thing, because that's the same place. I think it's actually verse 7 or verse 6 or 7 that talks about peace beyond all understanding. You know, and I have that peace. I hope you have that peace. Now, people that have to block or have to get snotty because someone doesn't agree with every single thing that comes out of their mouth, they don't have that peace. Not saying they don't have a relationship with the Father. I'm not saying that they are not saved. But they don't have that peace within them. Because speaking as someone who used to not have that peace, in fact, I have come a long, long way. You know, and I'm not bragging here, I'm just speaking fact. You know, and it's not from a place of pride. Hopefully it's something that will aid someone in learning and growing. But I was a worldly person. So much so that I still battle with those worldly things sometimes. And I used to live in a constant state of anxiety. I still have anxiety attacks occasionally. I had one about Thursday of last week. You know, over the whole hurricane situation. Had one yesterday evening, last night, and a little bit this morning. Of course, they're gone now. In the past, I wasn't able to identify the causes of them. Sometimes now I still can't identify the causes of them. Most of the time I can. And once I've identified the cause of it, it's usually a pretty simple thing to stop it from happening. And I know that this comes from that peace that surpasses all understanding. So while I'm not right about everything that I believe, I'm fine with that. I'm not Yahweh. I'm not expected to be right about everything. I am instructed to and expected to continue to study, to strive to learn to understand it. Because here's the thing. Every person that lives today, every person that has ever lived prior to today, that means from Adam and Eve, and every person that will ever live has a unique relationship with Yahweh. That is every single person, saved or not. You know, the ones who are not going to spend an eternity with Him and those who are going to spend an eternity with Him.